are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it's back up and running. Boyle Reflects. Boyle reflects on his reflections on his day-to-day life. How very meta of me. I tell you what, I fucking resist doing this every single fucking week. The last few weeks I've made excuses not to do it. This week I'm like, if I don't do it this week, I reckon I'll be depressed all week until next Sunday. So I'm like, I'm just fucking going to do it. I won't even do that many episodes. I won't listen to that many episodes. I won't try and get 30 or 50 done. I'll just do 15, 16 episodes. So that's what I did. That's what got me to the table, because it's a fucking tough listen. It's fucking rough for me. It's interesting as fuck though. This particular 16 days. So what did I do? I did day 141 or 140 to day 156. And I tell you what, the fucking things that were thrown at me in those two particular weeks, it was 2 fucking weeks. And there were like 4 major things that happened. The first thing that fucking happened was I got my wisdom tooth ripped out of my fucking head, cut out of my fucking jaw and ripped out. That was fucked. I remember all these specific things. I just didn't know they were all in the same fortnight. So I had my fucking wisdom tooth ripped out. That was an absolute nightmare. I remember that fucking pain was intense before and after. So that happened, and then like a week later, I was up in Bathurst, and this was the first time I talked about my brother. So my brother was up there, and he was drinking heavily, and he ended up having some fucking manic episode, ended up fighting Dad. Then I had to get him in a fucking rear naked choke and hold him for like 2 hours. Fucking forced him to take his medication. That did absolutely nothing. And then like an hour later, he's fighting us again. And it's not a fucking pleasant thing. He's got schizophrenia. It's fucking intense. It's scary shit. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So in the podcast, I said I ended up putting him in another chokehold, and then the ambulance came and the police came and took him away. But that's not what happened. It must have been because it was so early on in the podcast. I didn't want to reveal too much. What actually happened was he was standing on the steps of the place in Bathurst after he kicked the fucking door in, after I'd had him in that choke for fucking so long. He was standing on the steps. He was smoking a ciggy. Then he was like, I'm going to fucking kill you in your sleep. And that's fine for me. I don't care. He said that to me a fucking million times. He was saying he was going to kill us all in our sleep. And I think he noticed that wasn't hitting. And then he was like, I'm going to fucking kill my son in his sleep. And fucking as soon as he said that, I fucking snapped and I just fucking front kicked him off the fucking stairs, full fucking launched him off the stairs and just started laying the fuck into him, and just basically had fucking my knee on his temple until the fucking ambulance came. Fucking happy family times. But I will tell you this, my brother is as good as he's ever been at the moment. Every time I speak to him, he's good. He's been working. He's been going to TAFE. He's been doing some study. I think he just got a new job as well. He's fucking managing. Very proud of the fucking cunt. He even gave up ciggies for 2 weeks or like 8 days. And the cunt smokes a fucking pouch of rolly tobacco a day. Apparently he got back on the darts because he was smoking too many vapes. I think he was going through like a 3,000 puffer like every day and a half. He would never have been off it, so he's back on the darts anyway. But he sounds fucking good. He's in a good space at the moment. His main problem is the drinking, as it is with all of us. Whenever he starts drinking, the fucking episodes begin. But he hasn't been drinking, so that's all good. Then after that, and that takes you a while to recover from something like that. That's not something you just fucking brush off. It's heavy. It's real fucking heavy. So a few days after that was my birthday. It was my fucking birthday. And I started a new job for a new crane company, and I was driving their fucking new 22 ton fucking, what was it? Cato. And it was like my first day or maybe my second day on site. And I was driving the crane from one side of the building site to the other. And it was raining and it was all fucking muddy and shit. And I come around this corner. It was sort of downhill and I had to take this left. And as soon as I took this left, the whole fucking crane just started aquaplaning to the fucking right, just sliding. I could do nothing. I was pumping the brakes. I was absolutely fucking shitting myself. I was just sitting in the cabin just going, fuck, pumping the brakes. It's doing nothing. And there was actually more downhill and there was a fucking tree there as well. I was like, if this goes any further, I'm going to fucking tip and I'm going to fucking smash into that tree and I'm fucked. Fortunately, it fucking stopped and then I got it bogged and then we tried to move off again and then it fucking aquaplaned again. And I got it even more bogged the second time. Took a fucking hour to get it out. I'm just sitting there just going, fucking, is this the career I want? Is this what I want to do with my life? Do I want to be aquaplaning towards a fucking tree in a 22 ton crane with absolutely no control and no way to stop it? That was like the beginning of the end of cranes for me, I think. I was like, I don't get enough out of this to fucking need to be doing this all the time. So that was another thing. And then a couple of days after that, what was it? Oh yeah, I was watching The Joker, the movie The Joker. And then we got back home and I was pulling into the driveway and I noticed my little car, my work car, had been fucking completely totaled. The arse end just fucking caved in. Some kids had stolen a car and somehow in a street full of cars managed to hit directly my car. My uninsured fucking car. We did end up getting insurance though from the cunt whose car got stolen. So that didn't end up too bad. But what else was there? There was one other thing. I can't remember. We did see some fucking nerd kid on the side of the road screaming hysterically like he'd just been fingered by a fucking pedophile. And I pulled over. I'm like, hey, what's happening? What's wrong? And he's like, my mother is an hour late. She was meant to pick me up an hour ago. I'm like, shut up, you little fucking private school faggot. That's not what I said, but that's what I felt with every fiber of my being. So I thought all those incidents, because they stick in my mind, those certain things, those few things, in my mind, they are just like months apart. They're their own separate incidents. I didn't realize they were fucking in a fortnight period. Compartmentalized in my mind, they each have their own podcast in my fucking mind. So the world was throwing some shit at me at the time. It wasn't like it was all smooth sailing. Now I feel like that first year was just easy. No, I don't feel like it was easy. It was definitely the hardest year, but I can't remember why it was hard. I can't remember why it was a struggle. And then you listen to shit like that and you're like, fuck. That was just a 2-week period. That was day 156 I stopped there. Also, before that, there was like miscarriages. There was fucking all sorts of shit going on. It's like, yeah, you want to fucking quit drinking forever? Here's some fucking shit. But I tell you another thing. I fucking listened to that today and it sort of, I'm definitely not going to say it inspired me. But I have been in a funk lately. I've felt like, I don't know, untethered or I've felt, I don't know, how would you describe it? Maybe aimless or directionless or I don't know what it is. But fucking listening to that little fucking period, I'm like, all right, fucking just refocus. You've been through some shit. It's all peaks and troughs, baby. It's all fucking peaks and troughs. Maybe you're in a little trough now, but there's going to be some fucking peaks coming. Let's fucking hope so. Anyway, that's the end of another fucking episode of Boyle Reflects. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around with your friends, and I'll see you the fuck later.